And here comes the giant in the back. Oh my god, is that thing huge. He's 100 yards away. And he's going right to the bait. There's a map out here that we haven't really hunted for whitetail, specifically with the big game feeders so far. So today, what we're going to be doing is something rather unique, and that is, if you look at the map, we're going to be finding pretty much every single spot that we possibly can, and we're going to be setting up a deer feeder there. Now, whatever comes in, awesome. But here's the thing. If no big bucks come into that specific spot, for example, right here, we found a whitetail spot, I'm going to put up a feeder there. And then I'm going to put up a stand. If no big bucks come in, we're going to move to the next spot, and we're not going to be taking the shot. Unless it's somewhat of a decent buck, then yeah, maybe. But otherwise, we're going to skip to the next spot and keep going and keep going. And we're going to literally move 2 different feeders from spot to spot to spot throughout the entire map. And our goal is to get as many 200 plus whitetail as we can. And it's looking like this is going to be the first spot that we're going to set up our feeder here. It's actually right on the edge of a cornfield and kind of a 2-track dirt road. I think this is going to be kind of an ideal location, mainly because the fact that we're going to be able to see all the way over from this tree. We're going to have a stand right up over in there. And yeah, I'm pretty excited to see how this is going to turn out. Not only that, the river bottom is right down there, and they typically tend to drink down there. So nonetheless, it's for surely a prime location. Now, for this part, we got to make sure that we use the correct feed for the whitetail. And I actually have this saved right here. With the post feeder, you're supposed to use the multi-grain flake mix. Perfect. That's what we're going to do, which is this one. So we're just getting ready to head out to our first spot here, and we came upon a whole entire pack of coyotes. There was a decent 6 in the back here, which I'd like to be able to get if we get an opportunity for them. But I don't know where he just went. See, because there was for sure 4 of them right there. And I thought he was going to cross through there. But he never did. He never did. He was right here, working his way up through the hills there. There we go. We caught up to the whole pack of coyotes, guys. And there's one right out there at about 250 yards away. It looks like the big male is towards the back, kind of. But since we don't have an ideal shot opportunity on him, we may pass him up and go for this one broadside here at about 280. So I think that's what we're going to do. Since this thing shoots so flat at that distance, we could pretty much just hold it right for the top of the lung at 280, and I think that's what we're going to do. Honestly, we'll try and get just a little closer. That way we're around 260, and from that point, we can pretty much hold it right on the front shoulder. All right, that'll do. That'll do right there. So here we go, 260 yards, and this is going to be a good chunk of cash if we can connect on it. Oh, change of plans. The big male decided to step back up. Perfect shot. Oh my God, we smoked him. That was epic. I'd like to be able to get another one here, but I'd like the shot to count too. Oh my God, the shot was just high. But that wasn't. Huh. How far is that? 260. All right, so he's not quite as far as we thought. We gotta hold low. He's still right there. That's money. I think we dropped him, because I didn't see anything take off. But then again, did they come back? Did they come back? Oh my God, we jumped up another one. Another one, another one, another one. What's our percentage? We could potentially take down one more. Oh my God, we could have drilled that thing. But we're not gonna. We are not gonna. Because I don't want to wipe out this spot. This is a really cool spot, and I like coming here occasionally. Okay, so we're gonna grab our female raccoon. Our female is laying right here. This is the one that we missed twice and then connected. And did we ever connect? Holy, a 267 yard hard shot, and that's 1,000 cash for that one coyote. It's a female, and we still got 1,000 cash for it. But this one is going to be a pretty good one. And this one is the male, which went down right here, as a matter of fact. Looks like we look. Whoa, his tail's moving. Wow, what the heck was that? That, I don't know if I've seen that before. Well, let's pick it up. Oh my god, for one, that thing was huge. 50.6 for a level 6. You don't see that very often. But our shot was a 280 yard perfect double lung spine shot. And we got neck as well. I knew we were trying to center between the two front shoulders there, and that is exactly what we did at 280, 50.6, and 1,343 cash for that one coyote. This is why we don't pass up coyotes. This right here is the reason that we're able to afford all the stuff that we have, because of coyotes and adding up cash really fast. Well, with that awesome bonus implied, let's head out to our first stand now and check it out. Well, unfortunately, nothing actually came into our first spot. So I think what happened is we had a bunch of moose and or potentially, ooh, I'm interested in that. Very, very interested in that. That is a huge level 7 gold potential female red fox. That's what that is right there. But what I think happened is the moose and kind of the small game came into our deer feeder, but nothing else came in. There wasn't one single animal there during deer feed time. So I'm thinking the moose came in there after that, and the rabbits, squirrels, whatever else was out there, but there wasn't a single white-tailed deer. The interesting part was the feeder was completely empty. And I checked it twice. So yeah, I think we're a little too far away from deer territory, but it's to be expected. That's gonna happen sometimes. There's our fox. It's gonna be a gold 11.22 female red fox, 150 yard running double lung liver shot. It's not every day where you get a big gold female fox. I've only ever seen like 3 of them, so that's pretty cool. I have seen an 8 mythical one time. But aside from that, maybe 1 or 2 level 7s and not very many after that. But yeah, pretty sweet. Big old female gold red fox. And on top of that, oh my god, almost 1,300 cash for that one fox. Oh, that's what we're talking about right there. That is what we're talking about. So I had the feeder set up over here, and you can see black bear, red fox, and moose are all here, as well as raccoon. So now what I want to do is move the feeder more so this way. That way the deer are over here and they're over here. So most likely they're probably going to be feeding somewhere in between. And I'm thinking that's kind of what we're going to do as far as putting our deer feeder out here. And so yeah, we'll put it there. Then we will put our stand right up over there. And if you remember from years back, we used to have our stand there and had some pretty good times for black bear and moose. But I've also seen whitetail here too, so I'm confident that some should show up. They really should. Well then, something tells me this is going to be a lot more difficult than what I originally thought. Because if all we're going to have is rabbits, this is going to be a long hunt. Don't worry, we're going to try a different technique, and I got a lot better spots than this. These spots here are spots that they have potential, but I don't know for sure that there's a lot of whitetail in the area. I know that they're nearby somewhat, but not an abundance of them. The next spot is a spot that I know has monster bucks at, and that is the spot right over here. We got a stand set up right here, and they bed back over in here. They drink down here, and they feed all up around these areas here. So we got our tent there, stand there, and I'm gonna put the feeder right here. All right, here goes nothing. We're headed to our second location this time, and I'm hoping that we're gonna have some different results. The good thing about this spot is it's right over the top of that hill, so they can't see us, but we're for surely gonna be able to see them. I already checked the bait, and it looks like it's getting hammered. All right, here's our stand. Yes! Yes! That's what I'm talking about. That's what I like to see. Whew. Now we gotta see if there's any decent bucks here. Oh my freaking god, there's two giants! There's not just one, but there's two giant whitetail bucks. Oh my god. We go from getting double skunked to all of a sudden hit the absolute jackpot on monster whitetails. Unbelievable. Did I say two? There might be three. These two are both 160s. But that is a giant 230 plus buck in the back at 100 yards. Did it not look like these two were both 200 pluses? And I thought if that was the case, I would have said that there was 3 200 plus whitetails here. But either way, I mean, all 3 of these bucks are very respectable bucks. Like, there's no way you're passing these things up. These are awesome, awesome bucks. However, there is the granddaddy of them all. He's 106 yards away, and guess what we're going to be using to take him down? The new 12 gauge semi-automatic shotgun, and this time we're going to throw a slug into it. And we got the scope. Perfect. Alright, we'll zero in for 100. Wait, is there more coming in? There is. Another doe just came in. Well, that's pretty cool. Don't worry, we will definitely be coming back to this spot in the future. Definitely. Alright, here we go. Drilled him! Oh my god, did you see that thing go down? Oh! We hit that buck too. We got another buck hit. All right, we got to put a follow-up into him. Is that the one? Well, if I would have known that would have been the one, I probably would have shot again, but I didn't. I only saw one buck go over there. Did we get the other one? I mean, most likely if we hit it, it for surely should be going down, right? If we hit it with a slug. Can't imagine it go too far. Oh, wow. What a shot on that huge buck, though. What a shot. Very well could be. Nonetheless, that was one unbelievable turnout. Especially considering the fact that we got skunked on both of our spots. In fact, I even moved my main feeder back over to where it was in the beginning, and look, it's getting pounded again. Except before I had it here, so I thought maybe if I brought it closer this way, it might help out. And it didn't. But what I do want to do is go back there around 1600 at night and see if maybe that changes anything. However, in the meantime, let's get down and take a look at our huge whitetail buck that we took with the new 12 gauge and the slugs. Yep, it was about a 100-yard shot. We held it right on the top of the heart. Didn't want to get too much raise there since we're shooting downwards. And, well, he didn't go 10 yards and piled up. So we obviously connected quite well. Wow, he's an awesome buck, too. Look at the rack on that thing. All right, let's pick it up. It's going to be a 231 gold and a double lung shot there. Good thing we held low. Holy, we literally hit the top of the front lung and hit kind of the middle of the opposite lung on the other side there. Had we got more penetration, it would have went through and been a clear pass through, but it looks like it stopped. But had it went through, it would have came out right in the middle of that front shoulder. So absolute perfect shot on an incredible whitetail buck there. That is what we're here for. That is what it's all about. And there should be, ooh, yes, that's an awesome shot, guys. That's a really, really awesome shot. Non-vital hit. That means he won't be going far. More good blood here. Looks like he ran down through here, and then kind of this is about the last place that we saw him. Right around here. Where did he go? Oh, he ran that way. No wonder why we never saw him. He stayed tight to this bank here and piled up right in the middle of the river. Yes. So we doubled up. Though it's not a 200 plus, it's still an awesome 170 score on whitetail, and to take him on the run at 100 yards with a 12 gauge and the slugs, that's pretty awesome. And I'm going to count that as number 2 for big bucks off a feeder. 170 plus, I mean, that's an awesome buck all day. You can't get me wrong on that. You cannot get me wrong. Look at that thing. Holy. Ooh, a big old level 7 male black bear. That is huge. And since we do have the slugs, I would definitely go for a 150 to 200 yard shot on him. Yeah. Right there's 230. Tell you what, if we can get to 200, we're for surely gonna let one fly. There's 230 there. He's perfectly broadside too. Slightly angled at us, but not much. All right, right there we're looking at 215, 200. 200? 200. And that's gonna be our shot right there at 200. Now, if we need to, we could throw another one in it just in case, but... Oh, the follow-up looked good too. Oh my God, and it was. Holy, he's going down. Wow. Yeah, the second shot we held for spine, and I'm actually kind of curious as to which shot connected better. To me, it seemed like the first shot was dead center shoulder, which would have been lung, had we not gotten any drop, but the second shot was top of the lung, and so if we got any drop at all, then it for surely would have connected. Another big one. Unbelievable. That's a 300 yard shot there, so we'll try and get a little bit closer, and let's figure out what happened with this one first. All right, so it appears we took the shot right here. All right, so it appears we took the shot right here, and he ran back. There's a rock there, unless that's him there. Oh yeah, there he is. He didn't go 25 yards and piled right up. Let's see which shot connected. I mean, they both did. Huh. So, okay, the first shot connected. I mean, that's literally dead center lung. We didn't get even an inch of drop. Dead center. But then the second shot didn't really get much drop either. I mean, technically, it seemed like he turned as we took that shot, so that could have affected it too. But yeah, 180 yards, and we hit dead center. Both shots helped out though. It looks like we did in fact need both of them, because that's only 41%. He would have ran a long ways. It's gonna be a 20.89 gold, and he weighed almost 500 pounds. So to me, that makes me want to take a shot on this one and see if we can't go for potentially a heart shot at 200 and... Ooh, is he facing us now? Or is he angled away? Actually, no, he's angled away. Perfect. So that means we can get a little bit closer. Right there is well within range from what we just took. But, we need to get a little more broadside. Just a little tiny bit. And we actually might have to hold a little bit low because it seems like this thing doesn't drop at all. So let's see what we're dealing with from here. All right, right there, 170. Ooh, he's angled hard. That's as good as we can get, is right there. I mean, I kind of want to try and get closer. Only so we can get a better angle. Like, can we shoot through here? Nope, that's not gonna do it. Well, we're gonna have to take that hard angle. We're gonna have to take that hard angle right there at 170 yards. There he is. We'll throw another one in to help out. I don't really know if it helped out, but it looks like we for surely connected on that first shot. So, looking pretty promising to me. Kind of funny, it seems like it turned into a bear hunt here all of a sudden. But if I'm gonna see Big Bear, there's no way we're gonna be passing him up. And it looks like he's already down, maybe 100 yards away from where we took that first shot. So, pretty cool. All right, we took the shot right around here, which I'm sure there's blood somewhere, but not gonna be able to find it just yet. And there's our bear. There is our bear. Let's see how we did. First shot connected, a 20.8, and our shot was going, oh my God, right for the heart. Like, if we took that shot again, there's nothing we would do to correct that shot. It was absolutely perfect. Going straight for the heart at 180, and we tried for a follow-up, and we put it right between the shoulder blade and the lung. So that shot didn't really help us out much, actually. It gave us 5%, but wasn't really necessary. He didn't quite weigh as much as the last one. This one was 450 versus 490, but another big gold, 20.8 and 1,300 cash for that black bear. All right, we're headed out to spot number 3. Now, this spot is another spot that I know for a fact has a lot of whitetails. It's just a matter of if we can get them to come into our feed or not. And also, is there a spot that we can put up our stand somewhere decent? Okay, so this field here is excellent for whitetail. I've taken down quite a few in this cornfield here. But we have our tent set up right there, 130 yards. So if we can go another 130, then we'll be good. My question is, should we put it on the edge of this cornfield? Or right here, kind of in this grass? Well, we might not really have much option. We might have to put it on the edge. Yeah, we're gonna have to. We're gonna have to put it right here. And that's gonna be roughly 250. But there's whitetail that feed here. They drink here. And if we get deer coming into this spot, depending on what shows up, we're probably gonna have to use the 257 because that's gonna be a really far shot. All right, can we use this tree? No, we can't. Oh, that's a bit of a rip. I mean, potentially this one? I don't know if we'll be able to see it from there, but yeah, we can use it. Oh yeah, we can see it. Look, right there. Perfect. Plus, it's gonna be way up in the air. Yeah, that just might work. I mean, you want to ask if it's gonna work or not? Look what just happened. We literally just lured in all of these whitetail. And there is a 180 plus buck. I've never seen deer come into a feeder this fast before. Holy. So it looks like we got a couple of small ones, and then of course this beautiful 180 right out in the front. Now, in this case, I feel like we might as well take down this buck, and then we'll come back here in the morning. Yeah, we might as well. It's gonna be a 200-yard shot, and he's slightly facing us. But that got him right in the spine. That's what that did. That's wild. The fact that this thing actually raises at 200 yards. Well, we got him the second shot for sure. I'm still a little bit in awe of the fact that they literally came in that fast. That is wild. Well, we got some pretty good news, because as I came over here, I seen a really good sign, which has to do with making a vital hit. And honestly, we don't even have to track it, because look, oh, look at the pheasant, look at the pheasant. Dude, I really wish we had the right ammunition in here, but we just don't, and they all took off. Wait. They may... Oh my god, they dropped down to the ground. They dropped down to the ground. Let's go. We're about to get a pheasant. There's, I think, 2 roosters in there. But right now, I'll take at least one. Alright, where'd they go? Oh, right there's a hen. Right there's a hen. Where's the rooster? Right there! Oh my god, we get him! We hit him! Yes! No freaking way! We hit him! Oh my god, I'm pumped. Alright, there's the hen. And the rooster went down right over there. What are the odds that we actually hit the rooster? We didn't hit him that good. I'm not trying to get too overly excited about this, but we for surely hit him. And the fact that there was 2 of them side by side, but we ended up getting the rooster, is pretty awesome. All right, well, now that we got him hit, let's get back over here and pick up this whitetail. Holy, that happened so fast. You honestly never know what's gonna happen sometimes. But yeah, the follow-up shot with the 257 bolt action rifle connected, because our whitetail buck didn't go another 50 yards after that. The first shot guaranteed hit him right in the spine. Guaranteed. But the second one, that was money. And here is our 180 whitetail buck. Of course, we had to shoot him again after that, which I don't know why we did that. But that second shot connected unbelievably. Dead center lung shot running straight away at 230 yards. That thing is an absolute tack driver. 197 on this whitetail buck, and that's going to be number 3 for our big bucks on a feeder. All right, let's get over here now and see if we can't find that rooster pheasant. There's a good chance it did go down, but at the same time, we don't know. We don't know for surely if it went down or not after that one hit. So if this hen jumps up, it's gonna be fair game. Didn't see it. Nope. Did not see it. All right. So our rooster went down over in here somewhere. And no way we're gonna find him. Oh, there's blood. Oh, let's go. That should be from our pheasant. Yes, it is. Oh my God, there he is. He's down right here. He's down. Let's go. Rooster pheasant is down. Unbelievable. It's a big gold. 16.21 gold. And it's a molting. Our shot was a 75-yard headshot. One shot to the head at 75 yards. Absolutely drilled that thing. Wow, that's perfect. That is what you want right there. And a beautiful rooster pheasant. Big old gold. Molting. Oh, look what we just found. Holy, I was about to set up another location here with a deer feeder. And I think this is going to turn out pretty good because that's a giant buck right there. We have our feeder set up right here on the corner of this pumpkin field, right where it meets kind of all the way around the grass there. And it's going to be a 200-yard shot, so pretty good location. And honestly, I'm pretty excited about this too because this is the first time we're going to hunt a pumpkin patch field with a feed. Ooh, what do we got coming in here already? Moose. 1, 2, 3 moose over there. But it's not even time for deer yet to come in and feed. Or moose, so this is actually pretty cool. Anyways, let's get back here again in the morning and see what shows up. So I actually decided to come back to the original spot that we were just at here. But I wanted to come back in the afternoon and see if it changed anything. Well, there's an absolute giant white-tailed buck right there. Holy, it's a 200 plus. 200 plus all day, but there's a bunch more deer over here that I can't even see what they all are. Look at this. Oh my God. Another doe there. Doe there. Can't tell what that is behind it there. Doe there. Small buck there. There's our giant, and there's a decent buck there. Now this buck here is 197 yards out from us. So he's actually angled perfectly for the 12 gauge and the slugs. All right, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go for a 190-yard shot with the new 12 gauge on this huge whitetail buck. Oh my God, we drilled him. He's going down, and he's down right there. We could probably try and double up with this thing. If we needed to. All right, so that's 2 huge bucks here. Well, the one was a 197, and we come back the next afternoon to see a 200 plus out there, and this time we took him with a 12 gauge and the slugs. So for me, I would say anything over 200, then we'll probably use the 257, but 200 minus, 200 and under, why not use the 12 gauge and the slugs? Because we haven't really had very many opportunities to do that in the past. Mainly because the fact that we never even had a 12 gauge semi-automatic shotgun that we could use for slug hunting. So that's super, super cool. But yeah, let's see how far this buck went. Well, we took him right here. In fact, drilled him right here. Right there. And he ran this way. It's actually kind of difficult to see him in this cornfield here. Oh, I see him. I see him piled up right here. Let's take a look at this buck. Holy, it's going to be a 212 gold. And our shot almost got him in the heart at 198 yards. So we were pushing that 200 mark, but not quite. And since he was close to 200, we did have about 2 inches of drop. We were holding dead center lung there and still absolutely smoked him. I mean, the reality of that is the fact that that's going straight through and you're going all the way to the other side, right through the heart. Absolutely perfect, perfectly placed shot. And another monster buck. So that would make number 4 down off of the feeders. But for some reason, I feel like this is definitely one of the coolest moments that we've had so far throughout this journey. All right, guys, now we're approaching that last spot that we were just at before we took down that 200-inch buck. This spot is a spot that we spotted a 200-inch buck out there. And we happen to have our tree stand set up right here overlooking this whole pumpkin field. All right, let's see what we got. Wow. So that's interesting. There is nothing here except for these moose. And I think maybe it has to do with either they're not coming out this early in the morning at this location, or potentially it's just a little too far away for that buck to come in. I don't know about that. They're supposed to come in within 300. So if it's 200 that way, then that would mean another 100 this way. They should come for sure within this distance. They really should. So just to be safe, we're gonna come back here in the afternoon again at 1600 and see if maybe that's why that buck showed up here. Because maybe that is why. All right, and we officially have nothing here. So what I'm noticing is working the best would be covering different grounds, you know, going from spot to spot to spot. And as we're seeing, once we find a spot that has big mature whitetails, they show up really quickly. So for us to sit here and consistently come back to one spot, I wouldn't really say it's worth it. I mean, I guess if you have a couple of big bucks showing up consistently, you know, leave your feeder there for maybe a day or two and see if you consistently get big bucks. But if you don't, grab that feeder and go to a different location. Because to me, it seems like that's going to be your best bet, is just keep covering ground, and eventually you're going to put up that feeder in a spot that's an absolute gold mine. Well, it seems to be getting hit pretty hard, and it looks like we got some whitetail out there. It looks like we definitely got some whitetail out there. All right, so they came back, but now it's just a matter of if our 200 plus is out there. Oh, I hear something. To me, it seemed like it called from over here, though. Hopefully it didn't. Okay, good. I don't see him there. So that would mean that our 200-inch buck would be definitely not out there. Wow. There's only one other option now that could be potentially keeping him from coming in. And that is the fact that our tent is too close to where he was at. So what we're gonna need to do is move our tent, and let's put it right smack dab in the middle here. 300 to there, 260 to there. So it's well within the attraction distance of where he was at. And then it's gonna be 200 from there. All right, well, let's see what this does. You know what? We don't technically have to use like the manual feeding option, because what we're gonna do is get into the stand and then turn the feeder on. And well, let's see what happens. All right, so now what we're gonna do is actually try the remote feature, which basically means that we'll be able to have the function to be able to use as an on-off switch in order to turn on and feed the feeder, or in other words, fill the feeder to the top. And from here, that's what we're gonna do and see what happens. All right, there's our stand. And we're in. So, since there's nothing there now, we go like this. Fill remotely. And now, it should be full. Therefore, if there's any deer over here, they should all come to it. What's strange, though, is maybe they're not here yet. Oh my god, right there! No way! No way! I'm not sure why, but this buck, it was partially spooked. So unless there's like a coyote or a bobcat, oh, here they come. No way. It's working. It's working. We now have officially figured out a way to turn an on-off switch on our feeders so that we know when the animals are going to come in. I mean, it's working just like a string. They're going right to the feed perfectly. And here comes the giant in the back. Oh my God, is that thing huge. He's 100 yards away and he's going right to the bait. All right, let's watch and see how close they get to it. Still going. Still going. And they should feed right around there. Yep, he's gonna feed right there. Look at that. Wow. So the doe should feed there too. Followed by our giant, which is stepping out right there at about 180 yards out. All right, so we figured the fact that it was too far away before. But my question is, would it be possible to do the same thing right here with the feeder and have them come right to us? Would that be possible? Of course, there's our giant buck right there. That would be the ultimate goal, but then again, maybe we could go over there on the other side and put the stand up in one of those trees. I just don't really see that great of an option right now. And I don't think we have any more stands. The only real option that we really have is by putting it in this tree right here. And I think that just might work. It just might work. So if we have our feeder, I mean, we wouldn't even really need to hardly even move the feeder. Because if they're feeding over here and they go this way to the feed, they're going to come right underneath us, essentially. But yeah, let's just put our feeder right there and see what happens. Right there. Yeah, I think this just might work. One thing we got to do is move it down a little more and turn it this way. There we go. All right, let's get the feeder. This is going to be pretty awesome. We'll make sure we got our recurve bow all out and ready. Probably going to be zeroed in for 20 because, I mean, if he comes right underneath us, wow, that's going to be cool. And the most important part about this is the fact that we're not going to have the feed on until we're in the stand. Therefore, there's no way for him to come in early and bust us. This is honestly one of the most game-changing things I figured out so far about this deer feeder. This is honestly one of the most game-changing things that I figured out so far about this feeder. The fact that we can now use an on-off system to be able to bring in the deer. All right, well, let's see where we want to put this here. Maybe there. So the goal is to get them to stop before they get to us, and that's 33 yards. Which to me seems almost perfect. Remember, don't put any feed in it until we're ready. Okay, this is what we're gonna deal with, and there is gonna be our spot. Oh my god. I'm actually extremely excited to hunt this spot. Like, extremely excited. Alright, so we had to do a little bit of adjusting here, and the fact that mainly we moved the feeder back 5 yards more, and I think our tent was just a tad bit too close. So now the tent is 50 yards further away. But since the wind is still set up perfect here, and our entrance was different. Last time our tent was over there, and I think we may have spooked up the herd as we were coming to the spot, which could have prevented them from wanting to come in after that. But anyways, now things are looking pretty good so far. So let's get in and get the collar going. And by collar, I mean the feed. Here we go. Let's get in and get the feed a filling. There we go. The feeder is officially full. Now it's just a matter of seeing where they come from. Yeah, and I mean, if they don't come in this time, the only other thing I can think of is the... Wait. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Here they come. There he is. No freaking way. He's right on the front. Look at that. Unbelievable. That's so cool. He just stopped at 42 yards away. What a buck. He came in perfectly, just like clockwork. Right to the feed. All right, there's our buck right there. Perfect hard shot. Absolute perfect hard shot. We smoked him. Oh my god, the shot was so good that nothing even knows what just happened. There's another one coming in there. Another buck. One trivial. Two minor. We should be able to take this thing and double up. You know what? Better yet, if we have slugs in this thing, which I think we might. Oh yeah, we definitely do. We definitely do. There's a doe there. I think what I want to do is throw on the red dot on this thing here. And yeah, let's go for a shot. Doubled up with the 12 gauge and the slugs. But we also took down a huge whitetail buck. And it worked just like clockwork. We turned on the switch and they came right down the pipe. Right to the feed. Absolutely perfect setup. So if you want to know where we're set up here, we have our stand right here. We put the feeder here. Originally it was here and it worked out perfectly. But this time, since they're feeding over here, we decided to set up the stand here so that we could potentially get them within bow range. Turn the feeder on and they came right in. Oh my god, was that cool. Got some moose over in the background too. Here's a double lung shot at 33 yards right through the front shoulder, as to be expected, with a 12 gauge slugs. And then this one, a nice lung shot as he turned at 40 yards. But the moment of truth is this absolute monster of a buck. A perfect hard shot at 42 yards, a 214.38 gold. Oh my god, was that shot absolutely perfect. Oh, double lung shoulder blade heart shot straight through the top of the heart at 42 yards with the recurve bow. And that is going to make number 7. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I hope you found it helpful. Now you know that you can use the feeder remotely while you're in the stand. I didn't realize how good this worked. I didn't realize how good this feature would actually work. But clearly, it works like no other. And so that's gonna be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. And we'll see you next time. Oh, and also make sure you, if you get a chance, go take a look at the new channel banner. We got a few upgrades that we did here recently, so yeah, maybe you'll like it. Let me know.